Hey there, friends. I just want to do a little quick one here. We had a fascinating experience. I went to the doctor, and it was like the next town over, so we had to take a couple of buses to get there. And then my wife noticed that there was a canal that ran along the medical building. And she's like, I think this leads up to the high road of this town, which then would eventually lead back to our town. And she's like, why don't we walk along there? It'll be cooler because, as I've mentioned before, it gets pretty freaking hot here and there's no air conditioning hardly anywhere, except in the recording studio where I'm headed today to make some noise. I'll tell you about that in a second. So anyway, we walked down this canal, and about halfway down, there seemed to be like some sort of activity or fair going on, and a lot of people out. And you'll see some footage here right now of the boats along the canal and the festivities and people gathering and food trucks. And the funniest part about this whole thing is we climbed over this little bridge to cross over to the other side of the canal. And as soon as we got there, there was this band playing, and they were playing covers like Sunshine of My Love, Sunshine of Your Love, and, other standards from my era. Guess what? They were 15-year-old kids, and they were really good. So that kind of blew my mind that like 3 of the kids up there were 15 and maybe 1 or 2 were a year or 2 older. They were really good. And the best part of it to me in my mind was they rearranged these songs, I guess, which is what you should do. They took these songs and made them make sense to them. It's not like they brought, like, let's say, a hip-hop kind of personality to it, but they definitely funked them up, and they were adding a call and response vocal at some point. I'm sorry I didn't record it because it was amazing. I was too busy watching. Sometimes when there's music going on, I don't know about you, but I'm not holding my phone up. I am trying to enjoy the music. They really blew me away. The lead guitar player was smoking. This kid was amazing. It was way better than I was at that age. So it gives me a lot of hope for the next generation that they were playing our songs, or at least the songs that I grew up with, and more importantly, bringing something new to it. So I was very, very excited. I only listened to a few of their songs as we were walking by because we were on a schedule, but they had a pretty good crowd there too, and the people were very appreciative. It was amazing. I then ran into 2 or 3 other bands later on down the road. None of them were as good as these kids, so they were all hired by the festival to play. Amazing. That really made me feel good that maybe the future holds something grand, and that even in this era of not getting paid, you can just get up there as a kid and have fun. Because that's really what it's all about, isn't it? So before I share with you the one time I held my phone up for about a minute at the beginning of the Mesthetics show. If you don't know who the Mesthetics are, they're the rhythm section, the drums and bass from Fugazi. And my buddy Anthony Pirogue, I've worked with Anthony a couple times, made at least 1 or 2 records with him. And to me, okay, I know this is highly personal and subjective, but I think out of all the guitar players I've worked with, and remember, I've worked with everybody from Reggie Young to Henry Kaiser, I think Anthony is the finest young guitar player in America. I know, come at me, bro, but go check them out, because his taste and his feel and his technique, and I hate to use technique, unless you have feel, his choices are just amazing. His tone, it's just ridiculous. He's such a joy to record because you don't have to do anything. You mic the amp, press record, and go, and it's perfect. So I went to see the Mesthetics play. They're playing they just did a record with this sax player who's incredible, James. I met James. And so anyway, take a look at this little 1-minute snippet, because after that, I put my phone down to enjoy the show. But it was really cool. A very small club. I think you could fit 100 people in there without it really becoming desperate. The Cafe Otto over in Dalston, Kingsland here in London. And it was their first time playing there. They did a 2-night residency. So take a look at this. And then, I'm going into the studio today. I am making a massive wall of sound feedback. I don't know what it is, but I'm setting up 2 amps. I'm running stereo, not for the reason that most people do. It's for, I have a rig that I can split in proper phase to 2 massive amps, and I'm going to stand in front of them and just drone and feedback on for a few hours. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. In some ways, it's more of a psychic cleansing, if you will. It's just fun to make big noise sometimes. So I have this idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to set up a couple of massive stacks in a studio, an air-conditioned studio, and rave on for a few hours today and see what comes of it. I've got some effects I'm going to try with it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I literally do not know what's going to happen. I tried testing it here at home, and even though I'm set up in a studio on the top floor of my house, and I was on like 4 on my amps. I set up 2 small amps, like a little Supro and a little vintage 47. I could hear people screaming at me on the street, like I'm not kidding. So I wanted to do it here, but I couldn't. So that's why I'm going into the studio. So anyway, I'm going to film it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll share some of that with you in a day or so. But check out this little clip of the Mesthetics. Unbelievable. It's just the opening minute of their set. And they played for an hour and a half. And yes, they are this tight and this good. If they come to your town, do check them out, or check them out online. I think a lot of you would really, really like and enjoy their musicianship. All right, catch you in a little bit.